Today I am going to persuade you why we should not be in the war with Iraq because the conditions for being in war have not been met. I do not believe that we should be at war with Iraq because there are specific reasons that a country should go to war, and the decisions to enter Iraq did not meet those conditions. The policy of the United States must be that we only commit troops to fighting when it is agreed that one or more of the conditions that makes war necessary has been met, and an end can be obtained. Since troops have already been committed to fighting in Iraq, we must develop and follow a plan to end an unnecessary bloodshed and to make decisions about entering into future wars. There are different reasons to enter into a war with another country, and those reasons have not been met or used to decide the war with Iraq. One reason to go to war with another country is that if that country attacks the United States or they present a clear danger. Examples: when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii during World War II, they were attacking our country, so we had a definite reason to enter into the war. When we entered into the war with Iraq, it was stated that it was because of the attacks on September 11th, 2001. However, there was no definite proof that Iraq was involved in the attacks, according to the Republican Representative Ron Paul from Texas in his article Questions About the Second War on Iraq. The threat by Iraq was probably widely exaggerated, and dozens of other countries were more of a threat. In an article and upfront outline by Bill Keller titled Grandmaster Powell, it is stated that Powell pointed out that there was no evidence connecting to the September 11th attacks to Iraq. It was stated that we invaded Iraq because they had weapons of mass destruction, which was a clear threat to us. However, according to the article, Powell presses on Faculty Intelligence on Iraq Arms by Douglas and David, those weapons were never found, and there was no definite evidence they were ever existed. Countries go to war to gain more land or resources. Example: the Middle East has oil, which is a resource that many countries want, including the United States. If our soldiers were at war with Iraq in order to get oil for our government should state that we were there to do so. The war with Iraq does not have a definite objective to meet, so that we know when we have done what we have set out to do and the war is over. President Bush said that we are fighting the war on terrorism, but that is fighting for an idea, not a clear objective that everyone knows when the end has been met. The war in Iraq could be just the beginning of a never-ending fight against an enemy without clear facts about who it is, and we could fight countries all over the world since many countries protect Al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups, according to the Republican Representative Paul in his article. Since we have attempted to take control of Iraq, the country is unstable. So our leaders could believe it is necessary to stay there indefinitely to help maintain order so that Al-Qaeda does not take over total control there, just like we had to do in patrolling the detrimental zone in Korea. In order to move forward or making decisions about when to exit the war and how to make future decisions about entering a war, we must have a plan that is followed. Set up a strict timeline for removing combat troops from Iraq, and set up peacekeeping forces while the new Iraqi government is being set up. Since car bombing attacks may never end, we will not be able to use vague guidelines depending on these events stopping to decide when our troops will leave. The timeline agreed upon should be within the next 6 months to remove combat troops. Peacekeeping troops and the United States advisors to the new government should be removed within 12 months. We should continue to look for known members of the group responsible for the September 11th terrorist attacks and bring them to justice, since that was our original objective was supposed to be. It is certain who is presenting the danger. Only enter into combat when objectives or goals are clear and there is an end that can be clearly decided ahead of time. Only enter into a war when the use of force will be essential to bringing about the outcome we want. Enter war when we have the support of the American people. Saying that our objective is to wipe out terrorism is like saying that we are going to get rid of fleas. How would we ever be sure that we have completed that mission? Would you really know that all fleas are dead in every part of the world? When will all terrorism be gone? How will we know? A clear objective has to be able to be measured. When a piece of land is under our control or a leader is captured or dead, we have completed a mission. However, to say that we are fighting until all terrorism is gone cannot be measured. Saying that we should complete our missions and end the war is not speaking against soldiers. The soldiers have risked their lives and may have been injured or killed to continue fighting against a shadowy, undefined enemy. I have friends in the military, and they will go and do whatever is asked of them. Still, we cannot say when we will ever stop asking troops to risk their lives if we do not have a clear mission with a definite end in sight. Are the American people ready for another Vietnam?